Looks like that long-awaited Alien vs. Predator crossover isn't happening anytime soon. But we've got something just as exciting on the horizon. Arnold Schwarzenegger might actually be coming back as Dutch from the original movie. In a new interview with Empire, director Dan Trachtenberg, who's now overseeing the entire Predator franchise, casually dropped a bombshell. He confirmed that he's been in talks with Schwarzenegger about Dutch's future. And according to him, those conversations went way beyond small talk. The studio's seriously exploring ways to bring the character back into the story. This wouldn't be just a quick fan service cameo either, but a real return of the legend, though not exactly in the way most fans expect. The animated movie Killer of Killers turned out to be a massive hit. Critics loved it, fans loved it, and it proved the Predator franchise can still feel tense, fresh, and atmospheric even without big stars in front of the camera. So naturally, talks about a sequel started the moment it dropped. There's no official announcement yet, but from the way Trachtenberg's been teasing things, it's clearly just a matter of time. He hinted that the next installment of the anthology will be where fans finally see Dutch again, especially since he already appeared briefly in the post-credits scene. The twist is, Arnold's return won't be quite what everyone imagined. Right now, it sounds like he'll be voicing the character instead of appearing physically, since the project is animated and features a younger, frozen version of Dutch. With Arnie pushing 80, it makes total sense that an animated format is the best fit. Still, bringing back both the classic character and the actor behind him is a huge move that could reignite interest in the Predator universe and pull longtime fans back into the hunt. When it comes to the future of the franchise, things aren't quite so clear. Everything now depends on how Predator Badlands performs once it hits theaters, both in box office numbers and fan reception. And even before release, the movie's already stirring up some concerns. In that same interview, Dan Trachtenberg opened up about the new project and confirmed one thing that disappointed a lot of fans: there won't be any xenomorphs. That's a tough pill to swallow, considering that's exactly what everyone was hoping for. One of the biggest fan theories suggested that the mysterious creature being hunted by the main character was actually a xenomorph. The trailer was packed with visual clues and Easter eggs pointing in that direction, and people were breaking down every single frame. The inclusion of Weyland-Yutani in the story only fueled those rumors, especially since Alien Romulus's director had already hinted at a possible crossover with Predator. But according to Trachtenberg, there won't be any aliens showing up in Badlands, at least not yet. Still, wild theories like these are half the fun. Fans love to speculate, search for hidden details, and piece together connections between these two iconic franchises. And let's be honest, Trachtenberg could easily be pulling an Andrew Garfield, playing it cool while secretly hiding something big. Maybe there's still a shocking twist in store, because if Alien and Predator have taught us anything, it's that they know how to make a comeback in style. Either way, Badlands is set to deliver a completely fresh take on the franchise. This time, the story centers on a Yautja named Dek, the first Predator ever to be the main hero. Dek's a young hunter who ventures to a deadly planet to prove his worth and earn his place among the greatest warriors of his clan. The world is crawling with exotic dangers, from savage beasts to bizarre alien life forms, and every step could be his last. What makes things even more intriguing is that Dek's ally on this journey is an android from the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, the same company tied to the Alien universe. That connection alone adds a fascinating new layer, blending the two sci-fi worlds not through a bloody crossover, but through shared mythology. It's a bold move, but also a risky one. Based on early footage and reactions from test screenings, fans seem divided. The biggest point of debate is the look of the new Predator. Some say he's been humanized too much, with softer facial features and expressions that look almost human. The other issue is the creature Dek is hunting. That mystery was supposed to be the movie's main hook, but once it was confirmed there'd be no xenomorphs, the intrigue kind of faded. On top of that, the trailer already showed way too much of the monster, leaving little room for surprise. It's a questionable choice, sure, but let's wait and see how it all plays out. Here's where things get really interesting. There's a growing theory online about a local crossover happening within the Predator franchise itself. The ending of Killer of Killers is apparently a much bigger deal than most fans realize. It quietly sets the stage for Prey 2 and possibly other future films. Turns out, after collecting the most elite warriors they've ever faced, the Predators captured them and stored them in cryo chambers. And guess who's in there? Dutch, Mike Harrigan, and Naru from Prey. Yeah, you heard that right. Some of the franchise's most iconic heroes all frozen side by side. Trachtenberg did clarify that this isn't about time travel, it's just advanced cryotech. The Yucha pull warriors out of their own eras, freeze them, and then unthaw them whenever it's time for another blood sport. If that concept rings a bell, it's because it echoes the setup of 2010's Predators, where soldiers and killers from across Earth were dropped into an alien jungle for the ultimate hunt. But Killer of Killers takes that idea way further. The final shot shows endless rows of cryopods, implying that hundreds of humans have actually managed to take down Yautja over the centuries. From a storytelling standpoint, that twist isn't just a flashy cliffhanger, it's a roadmap for the franchise's future. Having Dutch and Naru both alive but frozen creates the perfect setup for continuation. Maybe they start waking up on their own, or maybe someone helps free them, sparking a brand new arc. And with Harrigan and Dutch preserved right beside her, it feels like a deliberate setup for an all-out crossover event. Imagine heroes from different timelines uniting against something even deadlier than the Predators themselves. Killer of Killers doesn't just expand the mythology, it makes Naru the key piece that ties it all together. If Prey 2 follows that thread, we could be looking at an epic team-up of legendary warriors facing a new terrifying force. Trachtenberg hasn't confirmed or denied any of these theories yet, but the idea of a shared Predator universe is insanely tempting. If he does go through with it, Badlands could end with Dek and Tia stepping onto that same gladiator-style arena where these final battles take place. That would tie together all the storylines, from Prey to the upcoming entries, and finally turn Predator into a full-fledged saga instead of a series of disconnected anthologies. Since the original 1987 classic, the franchise has constantly reinvented itself. Each director brought a different flavor: pure action, sci-fi horror, even psychological tension. But Trachtenberg's been the one to truly recapture the original spirit while evolving the story. If Badlands ends without hinting at what comes next, that would be a missed opportunity. This world has everything it needs to keep growing. Dek's journey, returning heroes like Naru, and that mysterious connection to Weyland Yutani and their androids. All of it feels like careful setup for the ultimate payoff. The long-awaited comeback of the Alien vs. Predator war, but this time with a smarter, more connected mythology behind it. Some fans think Prey and Badlands work best as standalone stories, but a sequel could push the Predator franchise into bold new territory. If it holds on to what made the first film special, the secret is keeping that raw, survival-driven tension alive. If Prey 2 and the sequels lean too hard into big spectacle, they risk losing the grounded, intimate feel that made Prey such a breath of fresh air. The real challenge will be continuing Naru's story without overcomplicating what was, at its core, a simple but gripping concept. Prey was a gamble that paid off. It took the franchise back to its primal roots, turning the Predator into a terrifying, almost mythic presence again. Instead of flashy sci-fi tech and explosive shootouts, it focused on cunning, suspense, and pure survival instinct. That stripped-down approach clicked with audiences and proved that sometimes less really is more. The sequel has to build on that energy while keeping the focus on character and atmosphere, not turning it into a full-blown war movie. The biggest risk for Prey 2 is repeating the same mistakes that doomed previous sequels, trying to go bigger and louder instead of smarter and tenser. But honestly, the franchise is in good hands. Dan Trachtenberg clearly gets what makes a Predator story work. His direction on Prey was so strong that Disney handed him the keys to the entire series, basically making him the James Gunn of the Predator universe. With both Badlands and Prey 2 under his guidance, the franchise is finally becoming a connected, cohesive saga instead of scattered one-offs. All of this has reignited faith in a franchise that took a serious hit after the 2018 disaster, winning back die-hard fans and pulling in a whole new audience along the way.